Welcome back everyone to Spray to Pixels. This is my workstation where I work for the studio and my laptop where I make my videos and my animation. That's what it looks like. My office. And next is some wood panel artwork that I've been working on for a illustrated children's book. Yep. And it's all house paint and spray paint and Posca markers. So it's just a quick glimpse into some work that I'm working on, some illustrative work I'm working on. I hope you guys have been having a awesome 2026. I know life can be challenging at times, but always try to do your best to look at the bright side. Not always easy, easier said than done, but go for a walk, go for a drive, call a friend, whatever brings you joy. Sunlight brings a lot of joy. For me, going on a stroll or a drive in the winter just warms up my soul. Also, check out these little guys, these flowers. They're all happy. Yellow. I'm really proud of this orange. It grew in my yard. Pretty hefty, and they're really juicy. Check out this Chick-fil-A bag. Isn't that cool design? Simple, graphic, but you can tell it's a chicken. I think it's perfect. So I got myself a meal with some lemonade. Got the spicy deluxe chicken sandwich. You guys, and the waffle fries. And if you guys have never had it, you must at least once in your life. It's the simple joys, that I cherish. We all kind of forget. Yum. Doesn't that look delicious? Look at that cheese melted on that tomato and lettuce. Try it. Hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. How you doing? I hope you guys are doing great. Figured you guys could join me for dinner. Having a little Chick-fil-A. And, I don't know if you guys, where you're at, you guys have one. I'm not sure. Don't believe they're global. But in California, they have them all over. And I really enjoy them. Here I'm a little bit under the weather, cold of some kind. I've been kind of feeling it come on. Started my chest a little bit, getting into my nose, a little congested. Feeling a little groggy, not the best. Few days. It's been a little rough. Not feeling, 100%. But regardless, I wanted to shoot and I wanted to be authentic with you guys. I know that I talk about a lot how my successes and everything, but it's been a rough beginning of the year so far. Having a cold for a few days, having deadlines coming up, and my job, you have to be always 100%, It's like if you're playing basketball, you have to always make those 10 hoops, and win every game. You kind of start messing up, notice. And so it's really hard to always be 100% in this job. So I just wanted to be authentic about that. It's great on paper, but in reality, it's a tough existence sometimes. Not for everybody, but, for a lot of us. So I want to show you guys just kind of like, having dinner with me. So excuse me, I'm actually starving. This is my first meal of the day, and it's already like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I got their spicy deluxe. That's my go-to because I like a little flavor in the
and the meat, you know, a little spice, and I like the crunch as well. Together, it's a great combo. And I'm drinking lemonade. Yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys because I know my last video I was really stoked about doing that acid calendar mural in the Bay Area and in San Jose, and then something went south. I used white as for my white color. I used gesso, and I use it on canvases all the time. But it didn't occur to me that, well, part of me thought, okay, well, I'll do the white. It's gesso. It's a little finicky, but once you coat it, varnish or UV protective, it'll seal it against the wall. But because of the weather, the rain, not being, you know, not the best weather, it's winter time, you know, it's a lot of showers. It rained a couple days after it was up, and I think if it rains enough, a couple days, the gesso acts like a chalk, the moisture, and it started to drip. So it basically started melting off the wall, and it kind of touched the other colors, kind of ruined the colors. So it was smearing down the wall. And I really thought if it was summertime, it would have been sealed and it would have been fine. But because it was winter, the wall stayed wet and, you know, moist, and then got rained on. It pretty much reactivated it, and then kind of started to slide on the wall. So I have a couple of friends and community members trying to clean it. But if it fails, which I have a feeling it might fail, because it gets into the grooves, you know, see like little white spots inside the wall, I have to touch all that up. So I'm gonna have to go back, and I didn't have any white paint per se. So I thought, okay, I have tons of gesso, white gesso, and I use it for my canvases. And it's not an issue, but I realized it's because it wasn't coated. It was no varnish on top of it. Sorry. And it's because it's outside, the elements, you know, are gonna activate it. I kept thinking that it'll be painted and it'll be varnished and we won't have to worry about it, but it took too long to, because of the weather, to get it to be varnished or UV rayed, coating, all that coating stuff we're gonna do, it didn't ever happen. So then the wall, the white gesso started to get activated and it dripped all over the wall. So that happened, and that made me feel stupid because I'm like, okay, I knew that was gonna happen. I just didn't know how bad it was gonna happen, but I thought it was gonna be sealed, so it would have never happened. But it didn't line up, so it was like it missed. And now I have to go address the problem. I should have just bought, you know, $30, $40 gallon of white paint, and I would have been saving money that way. And so now I have to drive back, extra expenses in gas, lodging, whatnot. And I'm just like, oh great. So I was trying to be cheap about it, and then it kind of bit me. And now I'm like, okay, that's why you always have to do it right the first time. You know, in hindsight, you have to just get the best paint, you know, or if you don't have it, buy it. It's better that way. I just thought I was gonna use what I had, and I had gesso, white gesso, and I used it for my own work. But my work is never outside with the elements, so that's why it didn't work. So I feel really bad about that, and now I have to fix it. You think one thing, and then you don't really think it through all the way, or you don't realize certain things. I was distracted. I was meeting my deadlines, and then it was like Christmas time and all, you know, that kind of thing going on, that vibe, you know, buying gifts, you know, shopping, decorating. So it kind of slipped my mind a little bit, and now I have to own up to it, and that's just life. I felt like we put a lot of effort into it, and that was kind of a waste. But instead of being upset about it or crying about it, I want to fix a problem. So if we can address it by the wall and get rid of the majority of the problem, that'd be great. And I'll just come back, touch up an area that it stands out that needs to be redone. I just have to do it. You know, there's no questions, no ifs about it. I just have to just go for it. I'm not feeling bad for myself, but I feel like I made a mistake, and I should have thought it through a little more, a little better. And it's a learning lesson. I know, as mad as I want to be at myself, or maybe the community elders are going to look like, okay, what happened? You don't know what you're doing. I made a mistake. I have to own up to it. And I hate to say that. A lot of people don't like to say, oh, I was wrong or sorry. And I've learned that as I get older, I need to be able to say that. when it's on my fault, or just own up to it. And I think the world would be a better place if we all did that. Just say sorry. So I'm gonna fix it and apologize to everybody because I feel like I let everybody down. I don't think it was cool that my mural ended up happening. That happened to it, and I know why now. So I'm gonna fix that problem. I think another reason I went to get Chick-fil-A is because it actually makes me feel good. It's a really good sandwich. It's got the spicy chicken in there, nice seasoned tomato and lettuce, and the Chick-fil-A sauce, and the bun is really soft as well. Never had it? Get it. So good. It's juicy too. So it's a treat for me. I don't get it every day. Once a month kind of thing. Maybe twice. Anyways, same thing. You guys made a mistake and you feel embarrassed about it. Just own up. You'll feel better about yourself, and then people will respect you as well when they go, okay, you know what? He made a mistake, but he owned up to it. He didn't try to hide it. He didn't try to pretend it didn't happen. Or have a conversation about things. And I think that's kind of where I'm at. I want to talk to people. They're hung up on something, or said something, or they were offended by something, or they felt a certain way about something. Let's just talk about it. Get it out on the table. See who was at fault where, and what was misconstrued, and what was just fictional, So, and what was a mistake, and how it could be fixed. So that's kind of where I'm at in my life. Oh, I forgot. There's also pickle in the sandwich. Like a dill pickle. Perfect. That kicks. I love it. That happened, and so I was feeling down about that, and then I got the cold at the same time. I'm all great, so I'm like beaten down already, and by the cold, and then the bad news with the murals was like deeper. And I hear news about my friends, family, they're going through something. So with them, I'm trying to encourage them because I've been through that. My sister passed away. A colleague of mine in high school passed away 6 weeks after that, and then graffiti artist. 6 months after that, he passed away. So it was like one after another, and it really brings you down. And it's why them, why this, why me? Well, you get all these. You start questioning things, life, God, spirituality. You start questioning everything, and how can you make it better for them or for their family? Or let's be honest, loss hurts, and I've had some of that in 2024 and 23. That was a lot of loss, and it was a dark time for me. When you're in it, it's very painful. One of my colleagues, I'm not gonna get into it, but I had a long conversation with him. It was a deep conversation, but it was real and it was raw. And I told him about my situation. I told him about my sister. And I told him about my friend, the graffiti artist, Opeg. He didn't catch his illness too late, so it was too late. He said basically 6 months to live. So, and my sister was sick for like 2 to 3 years. So it was like all this constant. Every situation is different. Frank could have stopped drinking; he would have saved himself. But my sister, there was nothing she could do, and Opeg, there's nothing he could do as well. It's like you're sick, your number's up, and you have to deal with it. But you can try to get help. But when you're diagnosed with cancer, it's like it's only a matter of time. But the other ones, addictions, I feel like you have to do your best and you try, and you have family and friends supporting you. Sorry, this is so deep. It's like it's been on my mind. It came about during the holidays, during Christmas. Disillusioned or lonely during those times, and I kind of wanted to basically kind of reach out to those people if I can. I went through it with my family and friends, and I know friends that are going through it now. And you kind of have to. Everybody's different, but work for me. My work told me, "Hey, do you want time off?" And I said no because I would just dwell in it, like stew in it, and just be just constantly thinking about what could I do, and can I switch places with my sister? Can I, what could I do? Because I didn't want her to suffer, but at the same time, I didn't want to lose her. But at the same time, it was painful to watch her just disintegrate. And I was in a place of like, hey, this needs to stop. Maybe take me instead, that kind of thing. And that we all have our time. We all have our purpose. And I think maybe in some way her purpose was done. She served her purpose. So we need to find out what our purpose is and how we can live for them as well, and kind of remember them, and also know that they can't do certain things anymore, that they're moving on. So we're here to kind of continue that legacy for them. Really, I wanted to heal my sister, but there was nothing I could do about it. And I want to help my friends, and all I could do for them is talk to them and tell them what I went through. I kind of kept myself working because I couldn't do the time off because I didn't want to dwell in it. So I kept myself busy, I kept my mind working, analyzing, solving problems, and not dwell in my sister's sickness because I couldn't cope with it. I had to bury myself in work. And by working, I kept myself busy and distracted. I still felt pain because every time I thought about it, I would cry and it would hurt. And when I went to her funeral, I couldn't really contain it. But I also had joy, and I spoke about great moments we had together, great memories. And I feel like we have to just do our best with the time we have, and just be giving and kind to one another. Like I said, if somebody feels a certain way, talk about it, reach out. In that place where I just don't want to have animosity. If I wronged somebody in the past, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Or whatever I was going through, I felt was more important, or ego got in the way, or emotions or feelings or biases. So to me, I'm kind of in a place where I don't like people taking advantage of me, and I don't like people lying to me, but I want more like honesty, straightforward, be real, be raw. I prefer that, even if it hurts. I prefer that over like a fake smile. So I just want more honesty and truth, and I kind of want to do the same. I want to be more honest and truthful. So, and it might hurt. Some people say that, oh, that was too blunt, that was too forward, that was too honest. And I'm like, well, that's what I want to be, because that's what I want back in return. So I want to be a real person, not a fake person. And that's where I'm at. I feel like I'm having lunch with a friend. Well, I guess you guys are my friends. Yeah, so sorry. It's like hard to speak. I'm eating and congested a little bit. Yeah. I think the world will be a better place if we're just honest with each other, all of us. And instead of hiding things from one another or leaving people out, if we were just honest about it, hey, we're gonna leave you out because of this, or you're not invited because of that, and then it could be addressed, like what's misread, what's misunderstood. And we could talk about it, like people are upset and they're excluding people or not inviting people to do that. But I get it, because I remember that time when I was that way, or I behaved that way. So no one's perfect, and that's what I've learned through life, that no one's perfect, and we're all here to learn and grow every day. Yesterday was a different day. Last year was a different year. So it's like you're always evolving and changing. That's something my family didn't get about me. They put me in a box, and then a year later I was different, and they still didn't see it. And 10 years later I was different, and they still didn't see it. 20 years later I was different, and they still didn't see it. So it's like they still had me in that box as a teenager, but I was already different 2 decades later. Some parts will always be part of you. Graffiti will always be part of my life, who I was and my history. Someone asked me once, what do you mean by that? I said, it's like a caterpillar. You're a caterpillar, right? You're crawling around the ground, and then you cocoon, and that's another stage, and then you go become a butterfly. You're still that caterpillar, and you were still that guy when you're in the cocoon, and you're still that guy as a butterfly. So all three stages is still you, but each one is different, but it's still you, and that's kind of how I see life. You know, you're able to evolve, and then you're able to, become something else. But people get stuck on the caterpillar, and they can't get past it. Check out these fries, waffle fries. Oh, yum. No, if you know somebody who's struggling right now, or they have a family member who's sick or something, or maybe they're sick, just listen to them. Just be there for them. You don't have to be there every single day. Just reach out. How are you? You need anything? You need a hug? You need some food? Like whatever it is, just reach out. I know that life can be challenging sometimes. I don't believe it has to be that challenging, but when you're sick, then it's kind of out of our control. When you're addicted to something, you can definitely help to anyone that's going through that you care about, and just know that you're, again, always am I going too long, you're not alone, and you're not, and we're not. We're surrounded by people all over the city, but not everyone's going to connect with them. Find those you connect with. If you've been to Chick-fil-A, go to Chick-fil-A. Delicious. The simple joys of life, certain flavors, certain sounds. Just enjoy it. It gives me joy to my soul. Same thing when I hear the birds chirping, it brings me joy. It's the little things, simple things that bring me joy. I truly believe we're all connected, and we all could do better, including myself. And so just do your best. As long as you shoot for the stars, you'll land on the moon. If you do your best, you'll always feel proud of what your work is and what you do. And I feel bad for the gesso still, and I'm gonna feel bad until I fix it, and then I'll feel better about that. But it is what it is. It's a learning experience, and that's life. It's a learning experience. No one's perfect. Consequences. I have to live with that myself. I made a choice to move. I made a choice to do this. I made a choice to get into that. I made whatever it is. We all make choices, and you just make your best choice you can at the time, not knowing what's coming in the future. Like today, I stayed home from work because I was just all weekend. I was just drained, and I needed to sleep and take some medication to recover, because my body was telling me, hey, I'm doing 2 YouTube channels, painting, and working full time. So my body's like, that's enough. I just feel like I need to keep going. I think when those 3 people in my life passed away, I feel like I'm kind of carrying what they can't do, I'm doing it for them. I'm gonna do stuff they can't achieve anymore, so I'm gonna go forward. And maybe I'm taking on too much, or maybe I want them to be proud of me, I'm not sure. But I just feel a little more urgency, I guess you could say. And I want them to be proud of me. If that makes any sense. If there's certain obstacles out there that I have to go through to achieve what I want, and I'm in a place because I'm like, is it possible? Is it plausible? I really believe everything is. I just don't. I'm getting more tired, I guess you could say. And maybe I'm feeling like this because I'm sick, and maybe I'm feeling like this because the loss of 3 people, and because I'm bringing these feelings back when I hear other people are going through their things, their addictions or their sicknesses, and I think it's I'm absorbing it a little bit, and having an impact in me. But I think you kind of have to take it, because you're more, you're being genuine. If not, you're just kind of blocking it off. It doesn't affect you anyway. But it is affecting me, and but I also know that that's just part of life. There's wins and there's losses, there's success and failures. You know, yin and yang. You know, it's just part of being alive. Such is life. You know, it's like you could be successful, be a millionaire, and then you get cancer and you die a year later. So it's like that's just life. You know? And I feel like you just have to keep going, no matter what, no matter who's against you, or people's perceptions of you. What you just do your thing. You're not hurting people, as long as you're not hurting anybody. Just go for it. I went down. Well, thanks guys for listening to me. Thanks for having dinner with me. Not even lunch. Dinner, early dinner. It's like 5 o'clock. About to be 5 o'clock. 2026 is gonna be a good year. You know, just keep your heads up. Do your best. Be the best person you can be, and stay positive as much as you can. It's easier said than done, but just remember, as long as you do your best, you know, and you try, that's all that matters. Don't give up. You keep doing what you love to do and go after your dreams. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. Bless you all, and just keep pushing forward. All right, have a good one. Bye. Peace.